I'll just guide you through a 2-3 minute meditation so we can set up the space and then people can come in. We'll start with 3, 4, 7, 8 breaths. So I'll guide you through 3 deep breaths and then we'll be with the breath. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out like through a straw for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhaling again for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath in this way. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just close your eyes and for 1 minute, tune into how the breath feels in the nose or in the throat or in the chest. Pure sensation. Tune into this wave coming and going. Let the breath be as it is. No need to change the breath. And now as you breathe in, say the word inhale. As you breathe out, say the word exhale, labeling the breath softly, but not changing its rhythm. So many things you can pay attention to right now, so many things you can remember. Just feel. Give yourself permission to be with. Give yourself permission to just feel the breath. There will be people coming. There will be sounds. Tune in more deeply into the breath just in the nose. And notice that dryness coming and going. Notice that rhythm that's only yours. And through any outer motion, outer movement, outer conversations, can you still feel just that dryness of the breath coming and going in and out of your nose? Great practice to do when there's commotion, when there's movement. And transition that awareness just to the throat. And in the throat, it's even more subtle. The breath in the throat is even more subtle, but can you feel it? Just a very subtle sensation, but can you witness it? Sitting with dignity. Placing your awareness just to the throat. Relaxing the throat so the breath can flow easily. And knowing there's nothing more important than you witnessing your breath in this moment. Your rhythm, your awareness, and connecting to your body. You're also connecting to every ancestor who went before you. And now enjoying the breath by placing a hand on your chest and letting the hand receive the breath. Placing a hand on the chest, also on the heart. And feeling the hand go up and down with the breath and just noticing what is there at the heart. At the end of the year, the heart can feel heavy or overwhelmed. What is there at your heart right now? Your heart, can you feel your heart beating? Feeling the heartbeat, feeling the rising and falling. Preparing the heart to welcome in more, to connect to more. letting the hand go back down. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out through the mouth. And you'll hear the sound of a bell. Listen to its sound, and when you can no longer hear it, softly open your eyes. Opening your eyes. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Elizabeth Pyjov, and I realize that some of you may not know what the session is about. Thank you for coming anyway. We will be lighting the fire of compassion through sending compassion to our ancestors. So as we look ahead, let's create order and send love to what's behind. A lot of times, if you make a family tree, and if you look at that family tree, and if you look at the stories, you'll see that the same patterns repeat themselves over and over and over again in the same family line. When I noticed that about my family line, I started doing ancestors practices very, very seriously. Raise your hand if you've noticed that. That certain family dynamics just repeat themselves. They get carried over and over. This is where you're not free. It's almost like you're not free to make the choice and build the life you want. My goal is to give you freedom, happiness, and for your wishes to come true. I run Happiness Sangha, which is a meditation center with a lot of virtual events, some in-person events. We just had our Ancestors Retreat here in November. We actually did ancestors practices in this space as a group of 25 women in November. So I love these practices. The concept behind what I do is, how do I teach all the practices that lead to happiness without excluding any, all the practices that lead to happiness? And one of them is ancestors practices. You cannot have freedom of choice until you send true compassion toward everything behind you. Sending compassion to everything behind you is also sending compassion to the entire world, because the whole cosmos is behind you. With 100% certainty, we can say that some of our ancestors are related. Some of our ancestors spend time together, if you go back far enough. So sending compassion to the past, to your own ancestors. You send compassion to yourself. It's a self-compassion practice, because you are made up of all those people and all those patterns, whether you like it or not. You send compassion to every geography, every religion, every worldview, every scenario, every situation. And what you also do is send compassion to those parts of yourself so you can access your own strength. So your own strength is also behind you. Everything, every talent you have, you also got from an ancestral line. Every intuition you have, that could have been things that your ancestors had to learn, but now it's your intuition. So it's this like mystical practice that's also very concrete, because we're referring to real people. There are people with real stories that were born and died at a certain time. Like after this, there's devotions to the goddess Durga, right? That's a different kind of practice, like when it's a goddess practice. But ancestors are very concrete people. You carry their DNA, and it feels mystical, but it's actually extremely, extremely concrete. So raise your hand if you've done ancestors, meditations, and practices before. Great, and I see all my Happiness Sangha people. And raise your hand if you've done self-compassion practices before, which are more common. Great. So it's wonderful to combine them, kind of compassion to ancestors as compassion to yourself. So to get where we want to get that's ahead of us, we need to send compassion to everything behind us. As Carl Jung wrote, until we make the unconscious conscious, it'll direct our lives, and we will call it fate. And we don't want that. We want to make the unconscious conscious. And you won't feel full compassion to yourself as long as you're judging even one person. If you judge one person on this earth, you will also judge yourself, because subconsciously you know you could do what that person does. You can end up in the situation that person is in. Raise your hand if you kind of judge some of your ancestors. Like, not great social awareness, not a lot of... not a deep commitment to equality, probably, right? Some views you probably don't agree with. So what we do is we send gratitude for everything our ancestors gave us, and we ask for forgiveness for everything our ancestors did that was harmful. And that this also allows us to send gratitude for everything we do that we like, and just ask forgiveness for the mistakes we've made. Who've made mistakes this year? Right? Our ancestors made lots of mistakes. We make lots of mistakes all the time. Gratitude, forgiveness, gratitude, forgiveness. So you just go between those two practices: acceptance, gratitude, forgiveness. So really, compassion for your most difficult person is compassion for yourself. I know that in my family line, I have ancestors who have destroyed the beautiful churches in Russia during the communist revolution. I also have ancestors, great-grandmothers who attended those churches. I also have rabbis, right? I also have anti-Semites. All of that is in my heritage. And you have all kinds of mixed things, maybe in a different continent, but in your heritage too. And there's a strength to that, and what it calls us to is a really, really open heart. So the ultimate goal is compassion for all beings, which means real compassion for yourself. Let's make this concrete and do a practice. We'll do 3-4 minutes of a centering practice. Every time we break patterns, we have to start with awareness. So we honor the practice with some awareness, and then we'll move into an ancestors practice. This will be very meditation-based because I'm not really here to lecture you. I'm more here to give you an experience, to help you open your heart, and we'll do that through meditation. So today will be 60% meditation, 70% meditation, maybe 30% me talking about these ideas. And then we'll do a Q&A about anything ancestors, anything self-compassion, anything that has come up. So take note of your questions as they come up. But every transition point, our ancestors did compassion for their ancestors, every major transition. Like Native Americans would walk this land, and the traditional intention would be, may I serve? Kind of may I serve, and may I also serve my ancestors as I serve. Or may I make my ancestors proud as I serve. May I contribute, and may I make my ancestors proud as I contribute. That connection to ancestors is very important, and people never felt lonely because of it. So in Asian tradition, in Eastern European tradition, in the Buddhist tradition, Taoist tradition, Confucianism, African traditions, wherever you look, as people were cooking food, they were giving some to ancestors. People were lighting candles for ancestors. People were asking for blessings from ancestors. Getting blessings from parents is awesome. Not all of us get that. Getting blessings from thousands and thousands of ancestors is even more awesome and actually even more powerful. So really what we're doing is an ancient practice. I've seen that the ancient practices are the most powerful. We've lost touch with a lot of them, and I've made it my personal mission to uncover them through ancient texts, kind of revive them, and teach them in a way that fits the modern world, but still honors the ancient practice. So with that, let's practice. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out through the mouth. Place your hands on your lap, one hand inside the other in a traditional meditation posture. Come into a comfortable pose. Relax any tension in the forehead. Release any tension around the eyes, around your cheeks, in your jaw. As an act of self-compassion, release any tension in your neck and your shoulders. Release any tension in the chest and the belly. Relax the back, let it lean back fully. Relax the back of the hips, soften the hips. Relax the arms and the hands, one hand resting softly inside the other. Feel the movement of the breath moving through your whole body, feeling it through your chest, your palms, your fingers. That soft expansion as you inhale, and that sense of strength and release as you exhale. Relax the legs, relax the feet. Feel the whole body resting easily. Feel the warmth of your body. Feel the energy running through your body. Feeling that strength and warmth of the body, energy you can use, feeling it with gratitude. Acknowledging that we will always be challenged and you have the strength to face any situation. Feel your strength physically and the strength of your awareness. Feel the strength of your intention. Know that no matter what you do, no matter what you choose, no matter where you are, you have hundreds of generations of ancestors who are behind you and who withstood any crisis. You have hundreds of generations of ancestors behind you who lived and loved and built and wanted the best for you and the best for all future generations. You have hundreds of generations of ancestors whose talents and skills you can tap into. They're all already there in your body. Feeling one hand inside the other. Know that the strength of generations are in those hands. And with your hands, your heart, your mind, you are strong enough to face anything this year, next year, or any year has to offer. There is a part of you that can witness and stay calm in the middle of any situation. Rest in this knowing. You have the knowledge and the skills to survive any change. Rest in this comfort of knowing that generations of wisdom are already in you, so you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to meet any challenge with strength and calm, just like countless ancestors did before you, every one of which lived and survived and passed something down to future generations. You were born and you get to live and enjoy, and you have every tool to grow and thrive. And now think about what you most want this coming year. If you are here for joy, if you're here for authenticity, if you're here for real growth that feels right to you, what is your intention for this coming year? Asking yourself and just seeing what arises. Or maybe just staying with the question and honoring the question itself. If anything were possible, how would I love to grow this coming year? If anything were possible, how would I like to enjoy this coming year? And now take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out through the mouth. Opening your ears to the sound of the bell. Opening your eyes. How did that go? How was our first Ancestors meditation? Empowering, right? It's like there's this power, this strength that we're not always fully aware of. And the question about what is my intention, we'll do a lot of that tomorrow morning. But it's really good to just ask yourself, because you'll get these glimpses. We'll do a writing exercise tomorrow. Bring pen and paper. Tomorrow you'll get to write it out. We'll be writing out intentions. And really, the first 20 or 30 are from ego. At wish 40, 50, 60, you start to get to what you actually want. When you first start writing, you're like, oh, Alicia has a blue shirt, I want that blue shirt. Tim is strong, I want to be strong. Like, I want that house, I want that. Like, you start to see, you think about what others have and you write that. So the first 20 things of your intentions, it's like a shopping list. It's not an intentions list, like things that you kind of get from the outside world. And then as you keep writing, you start to tap into the subconscious. So I just want to kind of bring up that question. So what we did was kind of an honoring ancestors practice. In our time, we're very disconnected from our roots. I think technology definitely helps. Like, there's the sense that we know so much more. We have access to so much more information than generations before. We live in a very different world. But in reality, nothing important has changed. All the important things are exactly the same. All the practices that worked 2,000 years ago work for us now and are healing for us now. Nothing life-changing in the sense of the heart or your real happiness has been invented. We are very disconnected from our roots. I think there's the sense of like, I know better than prior generations did. But really, if they survived in the tough circumstances in which they survived, without modern medicine, without tools, without cars, right? They had an understanding of this earth, of spirituality, of depth in a way that we can't even dream of. To raise kids through plagues and wars and famines and migrations and all kinds of conflicts, to raise those kids, make sure those kids survived and they raised their kids, there's a lot to be grateful for. My goal today is that we switch from judging our ancestors to being grateful to our ancestors. And this is how the mechanism works. Everything we judge takes our energy or can't give us energy. So if you're having an interaction with a friend and you're judging that friend, you're like, oh, like, first she was late and also she's gossiping and also, like, if that's what's going through your head, you're not going to get energy from that interaction. It's actually going to seep your energy. If you're walking around the beautiful snow and you're like, this is beautiful. I just came in from Manhattan this morning. I'm like, we're so lucky, this beautiful snow. It's light and it's glistening and it's magical. It's giving me energy at that moment. If I'm like, oh no, what a disaster. I have to drive through all the snow and I have to walk through all the snow. It can't give me energy. The most beautiful landscape that like Bruegel would love to paint will still not give us energy. Your ancestors can give you talent, strength, and energy. If you judge your ancestors, they can't give you any energy. Everything gets passed down through love. All knowledge, all strength, everything gets passed down through love. You can't really give someone something without love. For me to give you knowledge or to give you meditation, you need to be in my heart. I have to wish you well genuinely to pass something down. But even like, let's say you have a great apple crisp recipe. I love making apple crisp, like October to January, I make it all the time. Let's say I have a good apple crisp recipe and I want to teach you to make apple crisp. There needs to be a feeling of love and warmth for that giving. Giving knowledge doesn't happen. Giving talents doesn't happen. Things don't get passed down without love. The way things get passed down is with love. So we need the flow of love generation to generation. When you send love to your ancestors, what that opens up is space for all their talents, their intellect, their strength to get passed down to you. While you judge them, it's like you're blocking it. It's like someone wants to give you a huge gift. Someone wants to give you a winning lottery ticket, and you're like, no, thank you. Any relationship that doesn't begin and end with love and respect becomes disruptive. And that's a great thing to remember at the end of the year. We don't always have control over how things begin, but we always have control over how things end. It's how things end for you in your heart. So with your ancestors, it could have been a rocky start, but you can send love and respect now, and it ends with love and respect. For exes, maybe the way it ended wasn't great, but you can send love and respect now, and then it ends well. The goal is for every single relationship, no matter what, to end in love and respect, including your ancestors. And what that opens up is a lot of energy. What that opens up is a lot of energy for you. And we also live in a society that is extremely burnt out. And some of that is technology. I think some of that is actually is judgment. So let's try another ancestors practice. And this will be another self-compassion practice. what we're doing is kind of putting things in a kind of order of the heart. When we give respect to what's before us, that's a kind of order that feels very, very natural to us. When you put yourself above, when you think, I know better what my parents should have done, I know what my ancestors should have done, even if you say, like, who here has ever mommed their mom, like been a mother to their mother, right? If you put yourself, like, as judging or teaching your mom, you're in the role of your grandmother. Like, you're energetically, you're your grandmother. Life treats you how you align yourself energetically. If you align yourself as explaining to your mom how she needs to live, you're your grandmother at that moment. And you get the resources that a grandmother would get, the health that a grandmother would get, not that a younger person would get. But then if you judge your ancestors, you're aligning yourself with someone who, like, passed away many, many years ago energetically. So that's kind of how this practice works and why it's so effective. So let's put things in their order. Close your eyes. Connect to your breath. And now with the heart, with the mind, imagine your family tree, your family line way, way back. Back to the roots. And acknowledge, my family line started with love. Love is the foundation of my family line. I know that love is flowing to me from the matriarch and patriarch of my family line. With every new generation, my family line expanded and became more boundless, more strong. It is my job to receive from the older generations and to give to the younger generations. I give love to those who are younger. I receive from those who are older. And imagine love flowing like this golden honey river from older generations to younger generations. Older generations taught younger generations, nursed, cared for younger generations. And in this flow of love are the talents of many days and ages, the talents of many geographies, of many great individuals. I take from the older generations, I give to the younger generations, I send respect to what was behind me, and I use that energy for what's ahead of me. Set the intention that the energy of love spread through your whole family line, bringing love to every part. Everyone is included. Every relative, every ancestor. Acknowledge that there is space in my heart for the entire tree. Every branch of my family tree is important. Every leaf is important. My family tree is as it needs to be. And whoever entered my family in any way, every person is welcome. I accept my feelings, my wishes, my emotions, and I also honor my ancestors. I accept my body as it is, for it has been passed down to me from my ancestors. I will never reject myself. For rejecting myself, I reject my ancestors. I will care for myself, my body, lovingly. In this way, I care for all my ancestors. I will never pretend to be someone else just to be liked by others, because in this way I betray all my ancestors. Greeting myself in the mirror, I see my strength. I greet myself with joy, and I greet the strength of all my ancestors. I show myself great respect each day. I enjoy each day in honor of all my ancestors. And now put a hand on your heart and set the intention of happiness and thriving and your own freedom. Saying, as I move into the new year, I honor my ancestors. And take a deep breath in, and take a deep breath out through the mouth. Placing your hand down, opening up your ears. Open your eyes. How was that practice? So this is a practice of immense inclusion, immense strength. The ego, the limited mind, likes to exclude, right? Like you can look in the mirror and you can say, oh, I like everything about my face except for this. Or I accept everything except for that. The mind excludes. The heart feels good when it's inclusive of all things. So another very important ancestors practice is including everyone and everything. There might have been that second marriage of your relative with those other children, or the stepmom, or family lines are very complicated. The way families are very, very complicated. Set the intention that I include everyone. There's no exclusion. Like, I will not exclude from my heart everyone or anything. And that inclusiveness also becomes a set of strength. That's kind of saying, universe, I accept you. If you can accept all the complexity of your own family line, that's saying, universe, I accept you in your totality. What you want to give to the past is a sense of belonging. By including all your ancestors in your heart, you give them a sense of belonging. And think about like how many women who knew plant medicine and meditated were called witches and were burned. That's like a sense of exclusion. That's probably in all of our family lines. Think about how many exclusions there were for being spiritual, for being wise, for going against the government, right? Kind of how much unfairness there was. There's already a lot of exclusion in our ancestral tree. Include them in your heart because that's healing for them. So the teaching is that when you send compassion to all your ancestors, you kind of you help heal them, and by healing them, you heal yourself. And the teaching also states that your happiness is your ancestors' good karma. Like if you have a child, that child's happiness is your good karma. But your happiness is all your ancestors' good karma. So you actually have this army of thousands of people behind you, of thousands of spirits, who want your happiness because they have skin in the game. There's something in it for them. What this leads to is kind of a sense of belonging. There's a bond we have with our ancestors that no one can really take away. Relationships can come and go. People in our life can come and go. Places can come and go, jobs can come and go, our bodies change. Your ancestors are always the same. That bond is forever. That won't change. Like who your ancestors are, it's set people, they'll always be your ancestors. So that's a sense of stability. That's a sense of stability in a very, very unstable world. You want to cultivate that relationship so that you feel their support. That starts with a sense of belonging. So let's work with a sense of belonging, and let's work with acceptance in this next meditation. Because again, I want this to be very experiential, so you can feel it, you can go there. Let's take a 4-7-8 breath, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more times, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth. And again, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Placing your hands on the heart, and just remember what a sense of belonging feels like. Think back to where you last felt that you truly belong. In your heart, bring in that sense of belonging. It's warm, it's settled, it's like warm porridge. Feel that sense of belonging. Think back to that dinner table, or that group of friends, or that situation where you felt belonging. Feel how rooted it is when you feel that you belong. And now acknowledge that you belong to your family line. You belong to your family tree. This tree belongs to me. I belong to this tree. I belong in this ancestral line, and I will keep building a relationship with every ancestor in it. Release the hands if that feels good. You can put them on your lap. And acknowledge that a sense of belonging is healing. It gives us strength. It helps us be warm. Each ancestor wants to belong in your heart. Saying, ancestors, I accept you. I calmly accept you as you are. And I calmly accept whatever life gives me. I have a sense of belonging with everything that went before. I am part of it. And whatever happens, whatever is next in 2026, I accept. I am lucky to be alive. And I can be friends with everything that went before me and everything that will go after. I accept every ancestor, and I see the compassionate universe in everything. I am not here to judge. I am here to pay attention and open my heart. It's not up to me to decide what's right or what's wrong for any ancestors. I don't know their story. I just accept them and their path, their light and their dark as an important part of the world and an important part of me. The world needs everything. Each ancestor is a contribution to my growth and has a lot to teach me. Say to all your ancestors, you belong in my heart, and I belong with you. I am grateful for your gifts, your lessons, and your challenges. I am grateful that you lived and survived, and for what you have passed down. I am grateful for the way I am able to blend and hold your infinities, your opposites. And to welcome the future, we send gratitude to the past. Thank you, ancestors, for all you learned. Thank you for all you survived. Thank you for all those who you loved. Thank you for the children you raised. Thank you for what you passed down, and thank you that I can be alive today, that I can be walking through the snow today, that I can be practicing, meditating, eating, growing today. Ancestors, I honor all the parts of myself that are a gift from you. Through you, I'm connected to many histories, many geographies, many times, many places. Your path is yours, and my path is mine. Your beliefs are yours, my beliefs are mine. But as I walk my path, I honor you. And now just bow your head down and imagine doing a bow to all your ancestors, either in your mind or physically. Imagine bowing and just saying, thank you. And I'll say, ancestors, even though I don't know as much about you as I would like, I'm open to the possibility that that can shift. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out through the mouth. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Coming back. Does anyone feel any resistance to that? I accept everything. I accept all my ancestors for all they did, because there can be first a resistance and then a peace. With the mind, there's a lot of resistance. You're like, oh, how can I accept all this? I'm referring to kind of a bigger view. When you look at reincarnation and the world and us needing to have certain lessons, all the dark in this world is useful and valuable, and all the light in this world is useful and valuable, and everything is needed for kind of things to go as they are. So it's up to us to do good in the world, to be kind, non-harm, but at the same time to not judge everything that's happening around us. And with ancestors, that starts with that kind of big I accept practice. I want to share a few signposts, then we'll do another meditation, and then we'll open it up to like sharing and Q&A. But signposts are kind of big ideas that can guide us in understanding these big mysterious things. Signpost 1, ancestors are there to be loved and accepted and appreciated no matter who they are. Each one is playing their important part. So you kind of need the genetic memory of every single one of them to be who you are. The second idea is very interesting. Perhaps the soul doesn't pick parents or doesn't even prioritize parents, but picks ancestors because the soul wants the experience of a certain kind of skill or talent in this life. So you might be born as you are in order to have certain ancestors, not even certain parents. Third signpost, when the family has been brought into its natural order, the individual can leave it behind him while still feeling the strength of his family supporting him. Only when the connection to his family is seen and acknowledged can the individual feel unburdened and go about his personal affairs without anything from the past weighing him down or holding him back. Fourth signpost, healing our family line, we heal ourselves. It's like releasing our family line from judgment, we release ourselves from judgment. Fifth signpost is from Thich Nhat Hanh. If you look deeply into the palm of your hand, you will see your parents and all generations of your ancestors. All of them are alive in this moment. Each is present in your body. You are the continuation of each of these people. Anything from Thich Nhat Hanh is beautiful. And your joy is their joy. So your joy, your success becomes their joy, their success. The good karma you create becomes their good karma. So it is a tight bond. 6th signpost. What we're aiming for in this practice is a relaxed feeling of goodwill towards yourself and the world in general. The most difficult spiritual practice. If you're on a spiritual path, and if you're here, you are on a spiritual path, a few things start to happen. There is a sense of goodwill, which really translates into a sense of a good mood. There's many, many reasons each day to be in a bad mood. A lot of things happen that could put you in a bad mood, but this kind of general source of friendliness, goodwill towards the world. So you're in a better mood each morning, you have more energy, and all your relationships get better. So it's very it's not to meditate, not to chant. It's really so that all these very practical everyday things in your life feel lighter, get better. Same with ancestors' practices. To be self-compassionate, we need to be in harmony with our origins and affirm our roots and send goodwill towards those who came before us in the family line. We need to say to all who went before us, you have a place in my heart. There is space in my heart for you. So we need to be able to say to ancestors, you living and you having and raising kids has given me more than I can return. I accept it as a special gift. So this whole transition into a new year, I get to live a new year, it takes on a whole new significance when you think of gratitude to your ancestors and your ancestors celebrating with you every time you have kind of a gateway, a transition, a new start. And I've had this. Raise your hand if you had situations where you feel like everyone has abandoned you, like no one is on your side. I think almost once or twice in almost any life, I see a couple hands like no one is on your side. And like raise your hand so you can see each other. It's a common humanity check. Who has that? Maybe a month, a week, some period, some crisis where you're like, no one is on my side. No one understands me. No one is there for me. That total and utter loneliness, I find, is usually part of almost everyone's path. Things align in a way sometimes that you feel completely alone and completely unsupported. That's when ancestors' practice comes in useful. When no one else supports you, that's when I had the most resistance to ancestors' practices. Now you must think I'm a fanatic of them, that I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it for about 5 years, but it's the last spiritual practice I tried. So raise your hand again if you're new to this. So there we go. Mindfulness, compassion, self-compassion, all those body-based practices, all the mind-based practices, I kind of did everything. And I knew that ancestors are important because it was there in every ancient tradition, but I didn't want to go there. I had so much resistance. I'm like, that's in the past. That doesn't matter. Who remembers the John Fosse song, everything old is new again, everything old. And I realized everything old is new again. Everything repeats, ancestral patterns repeat, and the past is never in the past. And really, we live in timelessness. Like if you look at any Buddhist teaching, Hindu teaching, really any ancient teaching, we live within timelessness, which means that nothing in the past is really in the past, and nothing in the future is really in the future. Those don't even exist. There is a present moment, but everything exists at the same time. So I didn't want to go into ancestral practices at all. And then I was pregnant with my daughter, and I realized that I don't want her to repeat any ancestral patterns that I am repeating and that I don't like. And I went head into it, and Happiness Sangha, the whole meditation center I run, is now doing ancestral practices regularly, and everyone is getting benefits. Like really, everyone is getting benefits, and it's been my regular practice for 5 years, and I realized that in that period of time, when no one was giving me support, I felt very tangible support from ancestors. You don't believe it until you start doing it. Once you start doing those practices, you actually you feel the back and forth, you feel the vibration, you feel the support. And there's moments where you say, ancestors help me, or ancestors thank you, or ancestors give me guidance, or ancestors help me tap into your talents, your knowledge right now. I don't know what to do. Help me. and you start to feel the support coming. And it feels very mystical, but it's also very concrete. So I hope, my hope for you is that this interests you and you also have that experience of this like whole other layer of support in those moments when you just don't have support. It's a different sense of harmony, and really almost magical things happen. It is a lot of beings who are kind of on your side. And the other magical thing that happens is when you don't have, who has very little information about their ancestors. I actually had very little about certain family lines. Once you start doing ancestors practice and saying, ancestors, I want to learn more about you. Ancestors, I want more information. The information starts coming to you in the most incredible ways. And that's been the case with me and hundreds of meditation students where I've witnessed information coming in totally unexpected ways. So maybe that's a story I'll tell later. Or it almost feels like it's a movie, but the information will come to you. Okay, 7th signpost, to be in harmony with the world as it is, we accept ancestors as they are. And ancestors is actually how you're connected to the flow of life and to the rest of the world and to all of history. Your ancestors were there. You have that connection. Kind of the blood pulsing through you was the blood pulsing through them, but like in Mesopotamia 3,000 years ago. And you have that connection to the rest of the world. And I think it's important to realize that we didn't just suddenly appear out of nowhere, that we're embedded in something bigger that we continue. And it's kind of mysterious, like where life came from, how it's passed down. So honoring ancestors, we honor kind of life itself. And there's this like depth that flows through everything, and it's beyond the bounds of time. When we send compassion to our ancestors, we get that quiet harmony with something greater. Our minds can't fully understand it, right? Like, who was the first person on earth? How are we all related? What is this whole mystery? Our minds can't really fathom it. It's too much. But our hearts can connect to it. Our hearts can hold it quite easily. Our hearts can feel very good holding it. And once you hold all of that, you can finally hold all of yourself and all of your own complexities, because that complexity actually mirrors, that's like the macrocosm of you, the microcosm of all of that too. So kind of all those feelings moving through all your ancestors, they're still moving through you. You accept it in them, you accept it in yourself. Final signpost. It's nice to acknowledge that we stand in the stream of life from which we came, of which we are a part, and where we are connected to those who came before us. It's nice to know that we have deep roots. So, again, the ancestors practice isn't the goal. It's one piece of the puzzle. Your happiness is really the goal. Your true happiness, you waking up with joy every single morning, that's the goal of the spiritual practice. And there's different things you do for that. I like to think of it as a garden. Like all the beautiful things you want in your life in 2026, they're like lemon trees, fruit trees, daisies, poppies, whatever you want in your garden, whatever you want to cultivate in this garden of your life. To have this beautiful garden, the first thing we need are seeds, right? Beautiful seeds. Seeds from which these beautiful peach trees and lemon trees and flowers can sprout the seeds. So you put the seeds on the earth, that's the very beginning. As a metaphor for spiritual practice, the seeds, compassion, self-compassion, awareness. Those are the seeds. And then seeds like gratitude, like acceptance, goodwill. Those are the seeds from which all the beautiful things sprout. But you could have the most beautiful seeds, and you can have so many weeds that nothing will sprout. So you need to weed the garden. To have a beautiful garden, you also need to weed the garden. Weeding the garden is forgiveness practice. With ancestors, like we kind of touch forgiveness practice, but forgiveness practice, freedom from the inner critic, freedom from certain patterns, freedom from like the triangle of aggressor, savior, victim. You need to kind of weed the garden and of that beautiful garden. You can have seeds, you can have no weeds, but the garden won't grow without energy. So the third part of the methodology in spiritual practice is making sure you have energy. For a garden, it's sun, water, love, like the love of the gardener that cultivates that garden. The garden needs that. So in your life, that energy. You can be doing every spiritual practice, and I've seen that. Like, people come to me, they're ready to do spiritual practice, but they're exhausted. And I say, like, be an eggplant on the couch for 3 days, and then come to me, and then we'll start. Because there's nothing you can do without energy. We gather energy from nature. It's great you're here. Like, this is an amazing way to meet the new year, because there's so much energy here, because you're in nature and because we're together. So the energy of good food, the energy of clean water, the energy of love. You could be doing every gratitude diary, spiritual practice, meditation, living with someone who you're in a destructive relationship or an abusive relationship with, nothing will happen. I see some eye roll, so you know what I'm talking about. No growth will happen because they'll take all your energy. You don't have energy. So seeds, weeding the garden, energy. And finally, ancestors' practices are like the earth itself. You need the earth. You need to be able to have deep roots. So there's no garden without deep roots. The way we feel about ourselves now, we only think 1 or 2 generations back. That's like being in a clay pot, like a little clay pot. There's no big garden in a clay pot. Ancestors' practices are like having a wild, huge, expansive field of soil where the flowers, the fruit trees can grow. So as you send compassion to generations back, think of it as like you're getting more and more soil under you. The more you include, that's the final ingredient to the garden. And that's what very few teachers teach today, which is why I'm so happy that Menla wanted an ancestors aspect to this retreat. I think it's very unique and very open-minded. That's your garden. So I wish you the most beautiful garden. And in your heart, include yourself. As you make decisions this year, in your heart, include people will come after us. Everything you say, everything you do will impact people living 1, 2, 3, 10 generations beyond you, right? Even any kind word, it either puts someone in a good mood and other people model kindness, or people model the opposite. Everything you do has an impact many, many generations forward. Think of compassion towards future generations. But also, think about compassion to your 2 parents, to your 4 great-grandparents, to your 8 great-grandparents, to your 16 great-great-grandparents. You have 2,048 ninth great-grandparents. And just in the last 12 generations, there's 4,094 people. If you only count like the couples, there's 4,094 only in 12 generations above you. Once you are aware of that, once you send compassion towards all of that, you get that deeper soil. You get that soil where your garden can actually grow. So I find that for happiness practices, ancestors is like the final ingredient that you really need to feel rooted, grounded, and happy on this earth and really connected. And think about it, just 4,094 in 12 generations. How many struggles? How many battles? How many difficulties have they survived? How many sick children who then got better? How much sadness? How much heartbreak? How much heartbreak you're still carrying? How much joy? How many love stories where the couple was together? How many love stories where the couple wasn't together? How many expressions of hope for the future? How much illicit love? How many creative ideas? How much entrepreneurship? How much investing in the future of this earth so this earth can be passed down to us? How much investing in your family and in good values for your family? Each of your ancestors had a lot of good values because you wouldn't be here. So how much your ancestors had to undergo for us to exist in this present moment. And then do you feel like your spine straightening? You're like, oh, all of that is behind me. I'm here. Let me enjoy this because so much work has been done. I'm not alone. So much work has been done if all of this is true. I know for a fact that some of you here have been adopted. I grew up with a stepfather. I only met my biological father in my 20s. So ancestral practices felt even more like touchy pain. I'm like, who are my ancestors? The teaching is that if you're adopted, you have 2 sets of ancestors. When a child is adopted, you get your adopted ancestors, they're your ancestors, and you get your biological ancestors, they're always your ancestors just by your birthright. So there's a teaching in Hinduism that actually the strongest kids are adopted because you get more ancestors supporting you. Suddenly your good karma is good karma for more and more sets of ancestors. so much has been undergone kind of in the past, and we may be holding a grudge because like someone couldn't divide the family house, like someone couldn't divide the family property 2 generations back. And that's kind of blocking us from getting strength from ancestors behind them. So if you hold grudges towards your parents, you're not getting the strength of your ancestors. If you judge your parents, like it's like a pipeline, it's like water flowing. Anytime you judge, like if you judge low down like your parents, you're blocking everything. If you judge your grandparents, you're blocking a lot. So 11th signpost, when the grudges go, the strength will stay. When the grudges go, the strength will stay. And anything you accept becomes your source of strength. Anything you accept about your story becomes your source of strength. Anything you accept about your body becomes your source of strength. About your talents, about your weaknesses, about the mistakes you've made, anything you accept becomes your source of strength. So here, kind of on this threshold to the new year, we accept the year unconditionally. Accept all your choices unconditionally. Accept all your intentions that didn't come to be. All the resolutions you broke. Everything accepted unconditionally. Yourself as you are, accept yourself unconditionally. And of course, your ancestors accept them unconditionally. 12th signpost, last signpost. I usually pick biblical numbers for these. This is from St. John the Cross. This one is great for the complicated family. Where there is no love, put love there, and there love will be. Where there is no love, put love there, and there love will be. So when you put love in the past, it makes a huge difference for the present because that love gets passed down. It's like a well-greased machine. Like if there's love behind, it keeps producing love. If there's conflict, judgments behind, you just kind of keep producing that. So it's like you re-grease the machine and everything starts to flow. And you're not only doing this for yourself, you're doing this for your kids if you have kids, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, their kids. You're doing this for any living relatives in this family because you add that love and acceptance. They get to benefit from that even if they don't know you're doing it. Or do ancestors practices with more family members. When I teach the virtual ancestors program for Happiness Sangha, I have whole families taking it, like mothers with their daughters, with their grandmothers, with their aunts, and the transformation is very, very powerful. So now put a hand on your heart, close your eyes, and say, I set the intention to include all my family that went before me into my heart, so that in my heart, everyone can find warmth and belonging. And everything I do this coming year, I ask my ancestors for their blessing and support. All my good intentions for 2026, I ask my ancestors their blessing and support. Ancestors, give me wisdom so I can follow my path. In every tough situation, may I grow. I will love, I will live, I will create, and I will make life better for myself and all family members. Today, I honor my ancestors and I accept their strength. And through me, their wisdom, their talents live on. And take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. So when you set your intentions on the 31st, include your ancestors. Do it as a way to honor all your ancestors, all their contributions. Kind of, may I express the best parts of myself that have been passed down. And then you feel so much more part of the flow of life. So before I conclude, we still have a little bit of time, and I just want to open this up to questions, comments. Let's open it up to a bigger discussion. We've been meditating. I've also been talking a lot. Thoughts, questions, queries, doubts? Yes. And give us your name, too, and maybe where you traveled from.
I'm Olive, and
Olive?
when I think how much my ancestors endured, I feel guilty.
Oh, interesting. So your answer, so tell me more about that.
So I'm Olive, and when I feel like thinking about my ancestors, they went through so many wars, and I remember very little of them because I'm from Eastern Europe. So I only I guess I was meant to ask you privately this question. So I remember only I have access to information only to a few generations. So I know some of them, like grand ancestors were from France actually. So, but after that I don't know because it was like the history was like they were wiped out.
So one, you don't know, and two, you feel guilty.
I feel guilty,
and it's that guilt that I want to work with. So, yes, they had a lot of difficulties. Yes, they also had a lot of joys. Why is that your guilt? It's the way life was before you were born. Why is that your guilt
in a way,
to carry?
also I feel like when I have to accept, it's a judgment as well because like few generations like of our grandparents, great-grandparents, they were like end of life was quite unhappy.
But it's not your guilt to carry. So the world is the way the world is. You're here to accept it, to add good to it, and it's really not your... Life was tough for them, and life was also joyful for them. Life is tough for you, life is also joyful for you, and that pattern keeps repeating. So just to kind of give a different perspective on that belief, they had 1,000 joys and 1,000 sorrows. You too have 1,000 joys and 1,000 sorrows. And the best thing you can do is just say thank you. Like, you went through a lot, thank you. I appreciate it, I'll make the most of my life. I'll create something beautiful for the future.
Yeah. And also I noticed that I have a fear because I feel like maybe that they haven't had enough of energy to kind of like conclude it very well. So if I witnessed like some of those stories like kind of collapse in the end, like poverty or like loss of health.
So the teaching is that once they become your ancestors and pass away, they have nothing but light, goodwill, and support towards you. So no matter, like, if that grandmother was very, very cranky, passing away, once she did, it's only love and support towards you. Thank you. Thank you for... Anyone else? Questions, comments? Well, maybe take a couple more and then we'll do it. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do a final practice.
Thank you so much. This was really powerful. I've never done this before. You started off by saying that repeating patterns. So
Always.
anything you can share about, given what you've said about how to stop those repeating patterns?
There's a very specific methodology that I teach, and it really has to do with total honesty. Things that are hidden are always repeated. If like something is hidden, like someone's homosexuality was hidden, a similar situation repeats, like if something is hidden in the family line, it's the secrets that become the trauma, like the things that are not spoken become the trauma that gets repeated. That's good. Yeah. Well, it's good there's a solution to that. It's like what cannot be spoken. The secret in the family is the thing that you'll see either every generation or it jumps like every other generation with mathematical certainty. The things that are hidden repeat. The things that people like try to bury under the rug, like not acknowledge, it's like that situation wants to be in someone's heart, so it gets repeated really so it can finally be in someone's heart. So often it's like it has to do with like whatever people are ashamed of, like whatever inspired shame, and whatever inspires shame is different in different cultures and different times. But yeah, whatever's buried under the rug gets repeated, whatever cannot be spoken about gets repeated. Whoever is like pushed to the outside, like you don't belong, someone else will be in a similar situation. And it's like it keeps repeating until it can enter your heart. In your life too, same exact thing. Situations repeat until they make their way into their heart. Until you can connect to yourself with self-compassion in a given situation, you will live through the same situation over and over again. So if like patterns repeat over generations and in your life for the exact same reason, that's why you give yourself compassion in every situation, acceptance, zero shame, zero blame in every situation. That's how we weed the garden. Like, that's the weeding the garden. So macrocosm, microcosm again. Total acknowledgement, warmth, compassion. I accept this. I'll work with this. I'll live with this. I accept this person. All these people belong. These situations belong. They're in my heart. That's the Cliff Notes. And if you wanted, I'll give all of you this opportunity. I do a meditation every month that has to do with the seasons. That almost always includes ancestors. And if you want to leave your email, you can be part of it. There's like a huge free part of happiness on them. Because it's very the good thing is it's immediately rewarding. Like if you feel like there's generational patterns or patterns in your own life, the moment you start doing it, they start clearing. It's like it's been waiting for it all along. Also like a great New Year's practice. Because we want the new, we don't want the old. We want to choose what happens, we don't want it to be handed to us. And what's your name?
And Jenna.
And Jenna, thank you. And what's your name?
Hello, my name is Amit, and I had a follow-up question on that. So I've been doing the ancestor meditations, and what I see is pattern that my dad struggled with. I feel that I keep struggling with a similar pattern, which is growth and getting to that point and then not getting to grow. So with your point right now on the repeating patterns, how do you then go past it? What do I need to do to accept or not accept to go past that?
I think I would actually need to know more about your specific situation. So that specific, like to really give you a solution, I think we'd probably need to chat more in depth about it.
Okay.
But almost always the solution is deep acceptance, deep compassion, deep awareness. Like there's almost nothing that I've seen where the solution is not real connection and real compassion and real love. Kind of the real loving awareness. But there's like a methodology to it.
Okay, so instead of trying to not be your father, you have to accept him, maybe.
100, well, baseline, like 100%, like baseline for all of you, 100% acceptance of parents with all their light and dark. Like if you're people, I'm sorry to break it to you. Welcome to Happiness Sangha. And like let that attitude towards your parents be, you gave me life, you gave me everything, right? Like having life, you have 1,000 shots at happiness every single day. Giving me life, you gave me everything. You gave me more than I could possibly ever pay back. I already have everything I need from you. Maybe like the judgments are of them as caretakers. The judgment isn't as them as parents. Or the judgment is them as people, but not really as parents. Like they gave you life. That's the biggest gift. The chances are like 1 in a billion that you'd be alive. What?
But they just had sex.
Well, they gave you life. Well, let's say there's like a beautiful doorway. Let's say there's like a beautiful doorway and you step through that doorway and you have every possibility in the world. You'll be grateful to that doorway. Like the doorway is there, but like if you found the doorway that gives you access to every single resource in the world, spiritual material, you'd be like, thank you, doorway. So be grateful to the things that give you every single opportunity. Your parents give you every opportunity. And honestly, like your mother could have not had you even after having sex. There is that distance, like one does not guarantee the other. So the fact that your mother had you, they wanted that child to exist if they had you. So you can say like, thank you. They wanted a boy, well, but it gets complicated. And again, like what I'm teaching are very, very, very advanced. I ask a lot of any group I meditate with. It's kind of, I want you to have the most pure happiness. I want you to have the most pure joy. That takes inner work. So thank you, parents. Just imagine that your parents are like semi-gods and goddesses who did everything perfectly. Zero judgment. Because your life will be easier. Not because objectively they did everything perfectly. They didn't, neither do you, neither will your kids, neither will anyone you know. But just let your attitude in your mind be, you gave me life, therefore you gave me everything. And I have life, so I have every shot at everything. Like anything can change in any moment. I can reach enlightenment. I can walk through the woods. I can be here. I can hug. I can make any decision. I can travel to any country. Thank you, life. So thanking ancestors, we thank life itself. Thanking parents, we thank life itself. And really, if you're in conflict with your parents, you're in conflict with the universe. while you're fighting against your parents, you're fighting against the whole universe. You don't want to fight with the whole universe. It's too strong. Like, it's too much. It's too much for one person. Like, your body will fail. People come to me a lot with chronic issues. Like, your body will start to break down if you're in conflict with your parents mentally, with your ancestors, if you're fighting with the whole universe. So don't do that to yourself. There's these like very small adjustments that you make that like right away you get more happiness, right away you get more energy, and that's one of them. So perfect father, total acceptance, you admire him, you respect him, just like tune into that wavelength, and then you'll see how everything will 100% go better. As for the details, I'd have to talk to you. I think we had one hand here and one hand here, so yes, back there. Give us your name, where you're from, your question, and then we'll do a final practice. Thank you, great group, like great questions.
My name is Naomi. I'm from across the river.
Good.
I was going to ask about boundaries, but I'm guessing you'll say it's about inclusions.
Oh, it's all about boundaries too.
Okay.
It's all about boundaries.
Well, then let me throw this
Yes, boundaries,
question.
yes.
My dad had a secret family. Are they my lineage? Do I bless them and include them?
Yes.
Probably yes. I have stepchildren. I feel certain that they are my family. Do I bless and include their ancestors also, no matter what? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like that freedom of the heart. Think of like the heart, and let's keep talking about, like this is very good, like maybe we'll have a back and forth, but like the heart wants to be unbound. Your stepchildren, 100% your family, like include their ancestors. The secret family, you're still related. Anyone who comes into your family in any way through any means, include them. Say thank you to them, like you belong. That's that belonging practice. And it gets a lot easier for your heart. Like you'll feel much more light when you're like all of these, however you came into the family, you belong. Because the universe is compassionate and everything is happening as it needs to happen. Or at the very least, karma is working itself out. Even if it's difficult karma, it's better that it works itself out. And you don't want to make it worse with resistance, judgment, like not including people. So everyone in my family, however they came into the family, you are unconditionally included. And let your attitude to the living members be friendliness, open inclusion, open conversations. There's like, again, there's like a lot of judgments. Like I judge my grandmother because my mom judged my grandmother. Who sees their grandmother through eyes of their mom? Who sees their dad through eyes of their mom? That happens a lot too. So let go. We all have our own egos, all of us. No matter how much you meditate, you have your own ego. The ego distorts reality. You don't want to add the lens of someone else's ego. So someone else's judgments is someone else's ego. You have your own lens of ego. If you look at your father through your mother's eyes, or the other family through another family member's eyes, like you add another layer of ego, and that won't help you. That's only hurtful to you. Do you have any follow-up questions? Because this is a very deep. Wonderful. So you're next, and then we have Nick here. Let's see if we can still hear you, and I'll repeat it.
I can speak loudly, although I have a lot of thoughts swirling in my head. And I think what I heard is that open-hearted forgiveness and acceptance of the ancestors is a pathway to open-hearted acceptance and forgiveness of the self.
Yeah.
I don't know that, I guess I question the chicken and egg situation of that.
Say more about that.
Yeah, like I'm not sure that that can come first, or whether self-acceptance, forgiveness of myself is required for acceptance and yeah.
So give me a question. Or give me like a question that I can work with.
Yeah, I guess, do you feel like one comes before the other?
And
So acceptance of self or acceptance and forgiveness of ancestors. What's the interplay there? And then also, how in working with this practice are sort of like egregious breaking of social contracts handled?
okay.
Like
So-
egregious.
So I always like
Rape,
short questions because I
murder.
can answer them. So let me start with one question.
Yeah.
I feel like, give me one sentence, one short question. And I torture everyone like this. Like, phrase it as one simple question, and then I'll answer it. Just so I make sure I'm answering your question. Just one question, and then we'll do the second question.
How is acceptance, how does self-acceptance interplay with acceptance of the ancestors?
Amazing question. Thank you. Truly, thank you for amazing question. How does self-acceptance interplay with acceptance of ancestors? The mind isn't very good at telling the difference between the real and the imagined, or inside and outside. Any non-acceptance you experience as non-acceptance. It doesn't matter if you're not accepting yourself or you're not accepting another. Any irritation, you experience the irritation. Any non-acceptance is a kind of tightening, a kind of closing. You have the experience. It doesn't matter if you're criticizing yourself and judging yourself or judging another. Every time you judge, you get the same experience. So the only way to remove judgment, the only way towards acceptance, is just broad acceptance. And almost anything we judge in another, we are also doing. That's also kind of something that people have a lot of resistance toward, and then when you really look at it, almost everything you judge in yourself, you are judging it in others too. And even more interestingly, every time you have a very sharp judgment, I ask myself this all the time, if I feel I have a judgment, I'm like, where am I doing the same thing? I'm like, that's where I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, this person shouldn't have wasted my time there. Where am I wasting someone's time, right? Like, everything you do, everything you judge, you usually do, and it only triggers you because you do it. If you have like nothing, if you have nothing in common with the scenario, you're pretty calm about it. Anything that really gets you going, that really gets your attention, is something that is personal. I truly don't believe that acceptance of yourself is possible without accepting the whole universe, because it's really an illusion. Like giver, receiver, self, other, it's really one flow of life. It's the compassionate universe itself, as they say in the Mahayana Buddhism. Everything past, present, future, it's part of the compassionate universe. So you want to have kind of acceptance can only be a whole acceptance. It's like you can't have a little bit of compassion only for yourself, or you can't have like a little bit of compassion only for 3 specific people. Compassion is compassion. Like all of these things fill the whole space.
So in thinking about ancestors, are we limiting ourselves from the entirety?
No, we're expanding into the entirety. Like it's past, present, future. We usually disregard the past, or be like, those people weren't woke enough, or like we exclude the past. So ancestors are macrocosm, and they carry life on. So it's just like including more in your heart.
So in terms of like egregious breaking of social constructs.
So like when people killed each other, like is that what you're referring to?
Right. I mean, that's still in a more recent past, or sexual.
And then give me a specific question again.
Trespass.
Like you phrased the question beautifully. Give me one short specific question to answer.
My mother can't forgive her uncle who molested her when she was a child.
Yeah, that's the hard, what you're asking is the hardest question, so I'm glad we're going so deep. So give me that as a question though. Like your mom can't forgive your uncle who
How do I find forgiveness
for that?
for that uncle?
Yeah, beautiful
and
question.
therefore my
Thank you.
mother?
Thank you, beautiful question. So there's this Buddhist teaching that to understand everything is to forgive everything. It's really not about your uncle. It feels like it's about your uncle molesting. It's about something that happened to your uncle, something in your uncle's family, something in your uncle's ancestral lineage, something in your uncle's experience that was out of his control, that led to a total breakdown of him molesting. Who did he molest? Of molesting your mom. Again, super heartbreaking. So here, you feel the pain. You send love and compassion to your mom. The shortcut there is to say, here's the bad person. Here's the source of all evil, my uncle. Let's exclude him. But really, the heartbreak is we live in a universe with so much dark and so much light. We live in a universe with so much destruction, so many things that break us or feel like they're about to break us. And this really leads to the question of, why is there suffering? Like, why is there really horrible suffering? Like, that is really terrible suffering. And if we were to live in a world where everything was Menla, and like everything was beautiful, everyone's needs were met, if we lived in a world where like every moment felt like chanting with Krishna Das, that would be an incredible world. I would live in that world if I could. Maybe that's what they call enlightenment. In that world where if no one was ever hurt, if everyone had everything they needed, in that world there would be no space for compassion. Think about that. If there was never any real suffering, deep suffering, if everyone had everything they wanted emotionally, there would be no compassion in that world. And we're here to grow compassion. We're here to grow our hearts. We're here to grow. There would be no growth in a world without the most horrible suffering there. That goes back to no mud, no lotus. Like the beautiful lotus comes from the mud. From the mud of suffering, we get the most compassionate hearts. I'm sure you know this from experience. Think about the most grounded, kind, amazingly beautiful people. They've been through the most difficult things. I know every very intuitive person has been through some kind of abuse. Like I know, I've seen always that if someone is extremely intuitive, there's abuse in their past. I'm not saying, oh, it's fine because your mom is intuitive. No, it's not fine. It's not. It's a darkness of the world. But if you look in kind of the bigger sense, it's some karma. In the Buddhist teaching, it's some karma playing itself out. Not to punish us, but because we need certain experiences and we don't see the greater horizon. So there's like the humility. Like we have humility sending compassion to our ancestors saying, I don't know better. There's a kind of humility of the human being saying, I'm not God. I don't know better. Like I don't know why this experience was necessary, but it's part of the light and the dark of the universe and of my experience. My only job is to release judgment and open my heart. But there is some beauty that comes out of the deepest, 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 deepest suffering also. So that's like we need the light and the dark in the world. Does that answer your question? So it's too big of a question to answer in 10 minutes even.
Yeah,
But
it probably is too big, and I
But-
have spiritual bypassing
but that's-
questions when it's like happening in real time, and how do we
but
accept
does that give you a step further?
I appreciate the discussion.
Very well put.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, thank you so much for your talk today. I can say for all of us, I'm sure we really enjoyed it.
Yes.
My question is,
And truly last question now.
yes. How do you visualize those you can't see? So, you know, the lineage that goes further and further besides your parents and then your grandparents, connecting deeper into those roots. You know, when you close your eyes and you want to visualize, how do you visualize who you can't see?
That's beautiful. And I don't know, why do you need to visualize them?
I do like to visualize when I close my eyes, but when it comes to when it starts to become faceless,
Yeah.
the further you go, I guess what do you picture or what are you doing during those moments?
I think it's almost like this intuitive sense of there's this strength behind me that I can't quite picture in this multitude. Like when you send compassion to all beings in Buddhist meditation, raise your hand if you've done that practice. I'm sure most of you have. You send compassion to all beings. You can't really visualize all beings. It's just this sense. The practice I do want to give you, that's a specific practice that I think you'll enjoy, is write out a family tree, like you, mother, father, like mother's mother, father's father, like write out the family tree, 2, 3, 4 generations up, you won't know the names. But just write like great-grandmother, great-great-great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother, visualize the tree, and light a candle and say thank you to every person in that tree 7 generations up, even those whose names you don't know. Because those are specific people. And as you light that candle and as you say thank you, you'll tune into a certain energy. You'll start to feel, it's a specific person you are thinking. It's not an abstract person. Like your father's father's mother's mother, that's a specific person. Say thank you to those 7 generations, and you'll just have a whole different sense of your family tree. For those up, I have no technique for like making it concrete. but I think it's okay that it's not. You just know that their strength, their DNA runs through you. And sending them compassion, you send compassion to yourself. Wonderful. So it's exactly 10:45, but we'll do one 1-minute practice, and that's the practice of accepting. Compassion, so the fire of compassion is what this retreat is about. Compassion has 2 parts. Compassion has the part of giving compassion. I asked a lot of you, you took on a lot in these 90 minutes of sending compassion to your whole ancestral lineage and to yourself. Sending compassion to yourself, you also send compassion to the entire world because everything is inside you. So you gave compassion, that's half of compassion. The other part of compassion is receiving compassion. So for compassion to exist, for the fire of compassion to be ignited, you need to give, you need to receive, you contribute, and you accept. So in the last minute, I'll give you the opportunity to close your eyes, and all you get to do is accept and say, in your mind, I accept. And I'll send you wishes. Closing your eyes, tuning into your breath. This will be just 1 minute. May the wisdom of many ages flow through you. And just saying in your mind, I accept. May you always be surrounded by love. May you be connected to yourself in every moment. May you have the strongest roots. May ever new talons open up as you send compassion to your family tree. May love flow through all of your 2026. May all your intentions come true. And as you go through the joys, as you go through the challenges of 2026, may you know that you have so many people supporting you, on your side, rooting for you, and behind you. May you feel supported at every step. Saying, I accept, take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out through the mouth. And thank you so much for your attention, your presence, your questions. Thank you so much. Big round of applause to you. It was such a pleasure to be here. 2 things I want to say. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., we'll have a session on setting intentions. Bring pen and paper. We will write out many wishes, many intentions, and we'll write them out in a specific way that removes the psychological blocks of it coming true. We have wishes, intentions, we have psychological blocks, so we'll work with those blocks so that those intentions can come true more easily. And we'll talk about the science of willpower and why resolutions are basically useless. And the second thing I want to say is I love, I give talks in a lot of places. I absolutely love it when I get to see someone once. And then I realized I really want to keep in touch with the wonderful people I see. So I started sending an inspiring text message every morning. And I just sent one this morning. If you want to be on that list and get little reminders, and you can always text me back, it's just my very easy way of staying in touch. And I send an inspiring message to maybe 1,000, 2,000 people at this point. Many of you are on it, but if you're not, feel free to give me your number, and we'll stay in touch that way. Thank you. I'll see you around. I'll be at Menla all week. And come to me with requests for intentions or requests for our 11:30 p.m. meditation on the 31st, which is the very important one, which I'll be guiding. Thank you. Great to meet you. And I look forward to crossing paths, chatting. And I have the notebook here if you want to leave. Oh, and if you want me to send you, this is the other thing. If you want me to send you Ancestors meditations to do, give me your email. And tonight, I'll send you Ancestors meditations you can keep doing. So if you want to leave your information, you can just...
You said something about,
if you want to leave number. So name, number, email. I'll send you Ancestors meditation. I'll add you to the list. We'll keep in touch. Yeah.
So you said something around, I don't know why this experience was